rain, and oh, God is wonderful, isn't He? There shall be showers of blessing. Praise God for that. Let's put this back here. So, let's come before the Lord in prayer. Father, we want to say thank you that you are the great God, the mighty God, the King of kings and the Lord of lords. We praise you and thank you, Jesus, that there is none like you. As the psalmist said, whom have I in heaven but you? There is none here on earth that I desire beside you. We praise you and thank you, Lord, that your presence is with us here today. Wherever 2 or 3 people are gathered together in your name, you're there in the midst of them. And Father, I pray now, Lord, you hide me behind the cross. May in this place the Lord Jesus Christ and He alone be seen and be glorified. We give you all the glory and the praise and the honour in Jesus' precious name. Amen. Okay, as you would have picked up in that reading, James jumped from verse 42 down to 49. So there's a reason for that, because I preached on this part last time. Time wouldn't suffice me to preach on both narratives. So I'm just going to preach on the Jairus account with his daughter. And last time you will recall the woman with the hemorrhage of blood for how many years? 12 years. So, and once again we've got another 12. The girl of Jairus is 12 as well. So when this little one was born, that's when the problem started with this woman who had the hemorrhage for so many years. And of course you will remember what she did. She broke out of her 4 walls and she reached out, and what did she do? Did only touch, she clutched the hem of Christ's garment. And from that moment on, she was made whole. She was made well. And now we have this other account. So what's happened is that Jesus has gone from one side of the lake where they met the demon-possessed man, etc. And Jesus told him to go back home and tell the good news to everyone. He goes back over, and there's multitudes, there's crowds of people all thronging along the coastline, along the beach, and they all want to see Jesus. They all want to be healed. They all want to meet the one, the great physician who can heal them and do all these miracles and wonders. And of course, Jairus, who was the ruler of a synagogue, and it's interesting that Jairus was the ruler of a synagogue that the Roman centurion, do you remember the Roman centurion who came to Jesus, who had a servant sick at home, and he said, Lord, I'm not worthy that you come home to my place, but all you need to do is say the word and my servant will be healed. And remember what the people said, Lord, you should do this for him because he's a man who loves our nation and he's built us a synagogue. So that synagogue was in Capernaum, and the ruler of that synagogue was no other than this man here, Jairus, the ruler of a synagogue who had quite a high esteemed position. He was a man who was revered within society. He was a man of nobility. He was a man who was held in high honor. And so this is Jairus. This is the father. And he comes running to Jesus. Now, that wasn't a thing that you did. If you're a man of nobility, you would have had your nice long robes on, which means you would have had to pick up your robe from the bottom, and you would have had to run. It just sort of looks like out of the norm. It's not what you would do. But here he is. He's driven. You see the dark clouds of sickness drove him to Jesus. Now, as as you know, Verena and I have just come back from Coffs Harbour, where I officiated at my sister's wedding, Trudy, one of my three sisters. And on the Friday, we got to meet with Trudy and Brian, and we got to talk about the weather. And so I looked at the iPhone, and the weather did not look good at all for Saturday. You know, you get married, and they wanted the wedding right down there at Anuka Beach Resort, down in Coffs Harbour. It's a beautiful resort with this lovely about acre of grassland going right out down there, down to the sand, and then you've got these two rocky ledges on either side, the beautiful blue Pacific Ocean right there. And the weather did not look good at all. So we said, we're going to pray to our God who can drive away these clouds, if that's consistent with His will. We don't always get our prayers answered just like that, immediately, but a lot of times we do. And so I said, let's pray. Let's just trust God. That's what we did. We got up Saturday morning, did not look good at all. Those clouds were coming in. And but we just prayed that God would do a miracle. And guess what? By 2 o'clock in the afternoon, the miracle happened. There was a big gust of wind all through the morning. The wind died down, the clouds dissipated. They were able to bring the chairs right down there onto right there overlooking the Pacific Ocean. And it's just fantastic. And so I just said to everybody there, I said, Jesus has driven the clouds away. God answers prayer. He's the same yesterday, today, and forever. And here we have Jairus, these dark clouds. They weren't those sorts of clouds, but other clouds that were of his only daughter, 12-year-old daughter, that's come down with a terminal disease. And here he is. He's reaching out. He's running to Jesus because he knows that only Jesus and Jesus alone can help him. And what does he do? He pushes his way through the crowd, reaches out to Jesus and begs him to come home, falls down in front of Jesus and begs him to come to his house. In another version, we have to put his hand on his daughter and heal her. And then we have the narrative. This is where it's broken up, interrupted by the woman with the issue of blood. Now, herself in his shoes or sandals back then. How would you feel for those of you that have children? And this is his only daughter. I don't know if he had any other kids beside her. Maybe not. But you're say it's his only child. And here she is. She's dying. This beautiful ray of sunshine. The joy of he and his wife, their lives is now, life is dissipating fast, fading away. And next minute you've got these throngs of people everywhere. And you can imagine with this interruption, he's thinking, oh, come on. Gotta get Jesus back to my place as quick as possible. But you know what he did? He reached out to Jesus. He begged him to come to his home. And friends, often we experience clouds in our lives of sickness, of death and sorrow and financial and hardship and pain. They're there for a reason. Those clouds are there for a reason. You see, if everything's just always smooth, you know, someone once said, smooth seas do not make a skillful sailor. If everything's just peaches and cream, well, when are you going to call out to God? Well, you don't want to call out to God And it's like you and I when we meet so many people. Why do I need Jesus? I've got everything. I'm fine. I'm good. I don't need the Lord. I've got all that I need, man. I'm right. But then all of a sudden, once the Lord starts pulling the rug out from underneath their feet, whoa, wow. Then this goes and that goes. The health goes, their wealth goes. And all these other things happen to them. Who do they look for? What do they hang on to? What do they got? Nothing. Nothing, because unless you've got Jesus, you don't have that foundation upon which to stand and build your life. So maybe you at the moment are struggling. You're between a rock and a hard place. You can't move. You don't know where to go. Well, when the outlook looks bad, how about the outlook? Look up. Look up to Jesus. Look to Him. Secondly, remember that your delays are ordered by the Lord. Okay, so He didn't get His wish when He wanted it to. He's just, I guess He was expecting as soon as he meets Jesus, Jesus is just going to follow Him straight to His plan. No. Things don't always go according as you and I plan. I mean, how many times have we prayed and we don't get those prayers answered just like that? No, they don't happen right then. Now, God hears our prayers and He answers them, but it's what's the word?
Consistency.
It's in line. It's going to be in line, in sync with His divine sovereign will. And I really like what you brought out in your call to worship, Dave, about the sovereignty of God. That God is sovereign, that He is in total control. And we see that. I mean, just go back a few verses, and where are the disciples? They're in the middle of the lake, and where's Jesus? He's fast asleep in the back, and the waves are beginning to come into the boat, and they say, Jesus, Master, we're perishing. We're going down. He's in control. Every little wind, every breath of air, every cyclone, every hurricane is under His control. The delays are ordered by the Lord. But we don't always get it the way that we want it to. Oh, it'd be so nice every time we pray. Yeah. Just like Santa Claus, you know. It comes, I wish for this. Okay, yeah, you're going to get it. I wish for that, I get it. No, it doesn't always happen that way. But through it all, Jesus is shaping us and molding us and breaking us so that, number one, we grow in our faith with the Lord, make us strong. It's like muscles. Remember all your muscle training? Remember that? Doing weights and lifting, you're never going to get strong if you just don't do any exercise. So faith needs to be built up and grown. Secondly, we can never empathise. How are you going to empathise with somebody? You're way up there and they're way down there. I mean, that's why Jesus became sin for us, and He became a servant so that He could empathise with you and I. He became one of us. And He knows what it's like to feel hungry and thirsty and naked and destitute and rejected, to feel pain and to know what it means to go through the valley of the shadow of death. He knows all of it. And thirdly, and most importantly, it's to make us become more like the Master. So the Lord looks at us through the mirror of His Son, so that we can be moulded and shaped in the hands of the potter. We're the clay, He is the potter. So they're there for a purpose. Remember Lazarus? Both Mary and Martha said, Lord, if you would have been here, our brother would not have died. Remember the 2 days? Jesus they got the word to Jesus, and instead of Jesus just running straight to Bethany to do the miracle and raise him up, he still hangs around for how many more days? 2 more days. So all up, it's 4 days, so nearly 100 hours later that Jesus eventually gets to Bethany. And by then, he had already been there for 4 days. Lord, if you would have been here, our brother would not have died. It's so easy to see things, the circumstances of life, and we just see it all broken in pieces, but we don't see the God who's able to take each one of those pieces and put them back together again, because nothing is impossible with him. The things that are impossible with God or impossible with man are all possible with God. Nothing is impossible with him. And then he hears the words, "Don't trouble the master anymore. Your daughter has died." Your only daughter's died. She's no longer, she's not around anymore. She's gone. They're at the bedside of someone who's dying, and all of a sudden they say, they're gone. They've gone. The spirit has left their body. Don't trouble the master anymore. She's dead. She's gone. Now imagine hearing those words as a mother or a father. It's really the words that no parent wants to hear of their child. Friends, life's interruptions all have a purpose. It's not only the steps of a good man and a good woman that are ordered by the Lord, but also the stops. I remember reading John Wesley's journal many years ago, and in the journal he had written there that he was on his way, he had to be at a certain town, village by a certain time, but on the way, one of the wagon wheels, so it's not, the chocolate wagon wheels. So not one of those wagon wheels, but one of the other the wheels on the stagecoach, there was problems, so he had to get out of the stagecoach. But he just happened to meet a man there who was going through a terrible time in his life. He was destitute, he didn't have any money. Things were so bad for he and his family, living in poverty. And so John Wesley gave him all the money that he had, which was a substantial amount, blessed that man, shared the good news with him, and that man became a follower of Jesus Christ. Praise God. So the stops out, the things, the interruptions along life's way, and you think, why did God put me here? I mean, why have we moved from that place to this place? Because since we've moved from there to here, nothing seems to be going right. I mean, why is it that, Lord, you put me next to that, Lord, why is it that I'm just not experiencing what I should be experiencing? Lord, why has this happened to my child? Why this? Oh, if only. And then we begin to live in the past. And we always think, if only I hadn't moved from there to here. If only I had got that job. If only I had done this and that. Or forget the if onlys. God's got the plan. As we heard this morning, God is sovereign and he wants you exactly where you are right now, here today. Believe it. Trust him. He is in control. Jesus said in John chapter 16:33, "These things have I spoken unto you, that in me you may have peace. In this world you will have tribulation." You will have tribulation, but be of good cheer. I have overcome the world. I've overcome the world. Look without, you'll be depressed. Look within, you'll be distressed, but look to Christ. You'll be at rest.
He has the plan. He has the plan. He's in control. Back to Lazarus. Remember what Jesus said to his disciples. I'm going to Bethany because our friend Lazarus is sleeping and I'm going to wake him up. The apostles said, but Lord, if you're going to wake him up, that's a good thing. He needs some shut-eye. He needs some rest. But Jesus didn't speak of the physical rest. He spoke of a spiritual sleep where he had already died. The spirit had already left his body. But I'm going to wake him up. And friends, in the Bible, sleep is used for God's children. It's used for God's children. One day we will close our eyes in this world, but we'll open them up in the world to come. It's just a sleep. You know, when you go to sleep, you don't know how long you've been sleeping for. You don't count the seconds when you close your eyes. Well, sometimes I guess you do, when you can't get to sleep. But as someone once said, when you can't get to sleep, don't start counting sheep, talk to the shepherd. But death is just a sleep. I'm going to wake her up. I'm going to wake him up. And Jesus said, fear not, believe only, and she will be made whole. I love that. Don't be afraid. Imperative. Believe only trust me. Like the woman with the hemorrhage, she put her faith and trust in Jesus, and your little girl will be made whole. So Jesus arrives at the house, and he takes in only Peter, James and John, and the mum and dad of the little girl. And why doesn't he take, I was thinking, why didn't he take in more people? Well, if you read the narrative, what were they doing when Jesus said, he came to the house and he said that the little girl is only sleeping. They're laughing him to scorn. So they're saying, you're crazy. She is not just sleeping. But Jesus said she's sleeping because he's going to wake her back up. He's going to call that spirit that had left her body and was going to call that spirit back into her body and raise her up to full health and strength. So, out with the agnostics, out with the skeptics, out with the atheists. You guys don't have a part in this. You're out. You're on the outside. Friends, it's for those who believe. The inner sanctum. That's where we come. The faithless ones are always left on the outside. What are they doing? They're walking around in the desert like the children of Israel. For 40 years they were wandering around and around and around. Oh, if only we'd stay back in it. They didn't believe that God was going to get them into the promised land and God was going to destroy the enemies. They soon forgot all the good things that God had done. So they're out. And so Jesus takes in those few other people. So that brings me to what Jesus said. Fear not, believe only, and she shall be made whole. Trust his word. Yes, the little girl had died. And she wasn't just in a coma. She was literally dead by the time that they got to her home. She was no longer, her little heart was no longer beating. She had died. Death had seized another prey. The psalmist said that the hand of the grave is always there to take and seize its prey, and no one can escape out of its hand. Psalm 89:48. The Bible says it is appointed unto man once to die, and after this, the judgment. Hebrews 9:27. We all have to die one day. But isn't it beautiful here that death has to flee from the voice of God? And Jesus says to her in Aramaic, and you can read those words in Aramaic in Mark chapter 5 verse 41, Talitha kum. Talitha kum. And in the Aramaic, Talitha is a translation that's not little girl, young maid in the King James, but it's a term of endearment in which we would say to our little girl, honey, or sweetheart, or it can even be translated, my little lamb. Sweetheart, honey, my little lamb, arise. And notice what Jesus does. He takes her by the hand and raises her up. Now, what did the Father want Jesus to do? Come and put your hand on her. Well, the Lord doesn't always do things the way that we want him to. You know, we've got a mindset, Lord, you've got to do this for me. Now, this is what I want you to do, but it's got to follow this format. So we stereotype the Lord? No. God's going to do it his way. I mean, he made mud, didn't he? And put it on the eyes of a blind man. He said, go down with the pool and wash. And he just spoke the word and people were healed. And he did miracles and wonders so many different ways. But we can't lock Jesus and put him in a box and say, Jesus, you've got to do it this way. No. He'll do it his way, in his time. But it's all going to be for his glory, not ours. For his glory. Sweetheart, honey, arise. And gives her back to the parents. It's completely whole and says, give her something to eat. Now that speaks volumes in itself. Give her something to eat. Wow. Like a second ago, she was dead. She was in another world. And now she's been brought back to life. Give her something to eat. Completely whole. Every which way. That's Jesus. And then Jesus goes on to say, don't go and spread the news around. Now you think, well, shouldn't you be telling everybody about what Jesus has done? Well, I believe that the main reason Jesus said that was his ministry was coming to a close. And he didn't want to get swamped with people that just wanted to see more miracles. Jesus, can you do more? I want you to do another miracle. Jesus, do this. Jesus, do that. And miss out on the real meaning of why he had come into this world. Yes, it was to heal the sick and raise the dead and do those things. But far more importantly, it was to point people to the wonderful message of the cross. I'm going to the cross. I'm going to give my life as a ransom for the world. But on the third day, I'm going to rise again from the dead. You know, an interesting thing happened down in Coffs Harbour. Not only did I have the wedding on the Saturday, but then there was a baptism on the Sunday. My other sister, Arlene, who's been here before, she's sung with me, well, she asked me to baptise her. So for those of you that know Coffs Harbour, there's a beautiful jetty down there, and just up on the hills, Coffs Harbour Jetty Jailhouse, where I used to go to school, well, high school. And I used to wag school a number of times to just go down there on the jetty and just enjoy the day while all my mates were slogging away in textbooks and doing all this sort of stuff. And Arlene went to that school as well. So the Monday was the day where by God's grace, we got the family together. And practically every one of our family were there at Coffs Harbour Jetty on the beach that day. And it was 30 degrees. And the water was beautiful, smooth. And after sharing the good news with the people, we went down into the waters. And I said to the people, I said, Arlene's going down as the old Arlene, and she's coming up as the new Arlene. Friends, the old is gone, the new has come through our Lord Jesus Christ. Friends, that is a picture of our resurrection too, isn't it? Jesus went down into death, but he came up alive for us. And he has the keys of hell and death. And he's the one who was able to save from the governors to the uttermost. So, where are you? You're between a rock and a hard place. You're thinking, why am I getting all these delays along the way? Things aren't going exactly the way that I planned them to go. Well, God's got a reason for all of that. He's in total control. Pray to him. Trust him. And one day, yes, we'll all close our eyes, but we'll hear his wonderful voice say, "Come home, my son. Come home, my daughter." He will take us by the hand and lead us from this world into the world beyond. Behold, I show you a mystery. We will not all sleep and not all going to die. We shall be changed in a moment, in a twinkling of an eye. At the last trumpet, the trumpet shall sound, the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and you and I will be changed. This corruptible must put on incorruption, and this mortal must put on immortality. When that's all happened, then shall be brought to pass the saying that is written, death is swallowed up in victory. O death, where is your? O grave, where is your victory? The sting of death is sin, and the strength of sin is the law. But thanks be to God who gives us the victory through our Lord Jesus Christ. Therefore, brothers and sisters, be steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord, for as much as you know that your labour is not in vain in the Lord. Amen. Father, we praise you and thank you, Lord, for your word. We thank you that you haven't changed, that you are the same yesterday, today, and forever. We thank you for your voice that has spoken. Lord, you spoke to this little one who passed away. And you spoke to the multitudes. You shared the good news. But how sad that so many of them just wanted to see another miracle, another sign, something that you did, Lord, for these people, and they just wanted that on a daily basis. They were chasing you to fill their stomachs with bread and whatever, but they didn't understand the real meaning and the purpose of the message was to point to something far deeper, far more greater, the spiritual. It's not so much the outer, but it's the inner. And Lord Jesus, we thank you that you have spoken into our hearts. We thank you, Lord, that you are calling upon people today, men and women, who are hearing your voice as you break through that stony heart and you make them come along. As your word says, and you who were dead in trespasses and sin, as he made alive. Father, we thank you that your voice is speaking, and speak in the hearts and lives of many other people today. We pray in and through us as your ambassadors and witnesses, as we take the good news to boys and girls and men and women to tell them of the wonderful hope that we have with you, and point them to the one who is the resurrection and the life. We thank you in Jesus' name. Amen.